let's be fair. Roman Catholics, if they understand their doctrine, don't worship Mary. They venerate Mary.
I have a question. So, like, we were at Europe and visiting a lot of churches and chapels and stuff, and then I noticed, like, a lot of them worship Marys or saints, and I just want to know your thoughts on that. Like, is that a good thing? Is that a legitimate thing, or is it not? Or
I think we're about out of time. Well, I'm going to annoy my Catholic friends now. I don't think Mary, let's be fair. Roman Catholics, if they understand their doctrine, don't worship Mary. They venerate Mary. And there's a difference between worship and what they call, I think, hyperdulia, okay? And so that's a technical way that they're venerating Mary because Mary is most blessed among women, right? And Protestants ought to consider Mary most blessed among women because that's what the text says, okay? The problem is when it gets to the pews, it's not understood by most Catholics that way. They pray to Mary. They venerate Mary. Some are even say Mary's a co-redemptrix, which of course is not biblical. Now, all this goes back to really what is our source of authority. Protestants say our authority is the Scriptures. That's what sola scriptura means. It doesn't mean that we get all our information from the Scriptures. It means that the Scriptures are sufficient for faith and practice. And it means that we don't consider on par with the Scriptures popes, church councils, early church fathers, extra books in the Bible, those kind of things. Okay? So Protestants are going to say there's no reason to be venerating Mary according to the Scriptures. But when Catholics say, we got all these other traditions, we're going to venerate her anyway, it's really just an argument over authority. And the authority, the true authority for me is the Scriptures. That's why Paul says in 2 Timothy 3 that the purpose of the Scriptures is to make you wise unto salvation and to equip you to do good works. In other words, to get you saved and sanctified. It doesn't say that, you got to add anything else to that. So I think the Scriptures are the key. And I think, unfortunately, when people don't understand proper distinctions, people wind up venerating and even worshiping somebody who is a created being like Mary, and that's not something that the Scriptures want to do.
Because we were at, like, the church, the Montserrat in Spain, and then they pray to Mary, and they believe that, like, she is good for, like, having babies or, like, healing and stuff. And coming from Asian background, it reminds me a lot of, like, the different temple and deity, like that they pray to. And I was like, oh, that's, very different.
It is. Back in 1998, I went to Medjugorje, which is where they say the Blessed Mother had appeared. That's in Croatia. And I asked one of the visionaries there who said she has seen the Blessed Mother. I asked her if the Blessed Mother had recommended she read a certain book. And I can't remember what the book was now. This is almost 30 years ago. And the missionary said yes, or the visionary said yes. The Blessed Mother told me to read this book. The problem is the Roman Catholic Church itself in the 1950s declared the book heresy. So I just wanted to see if it was true that this appearance did recommend a book that the Roman Catholic Church thinks is heresy. So there's a conflict there. All right. Thank you so much, Ann.